We have a look now at a woman coping her entire life with a hair loss condition known as alopecia.
That image so powerful. She faced her struggle head on. She didn't conquer her condition, but she learned to live with it. Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, here with her important message.
Alopecia areata is known as patchy hair loss or spotty baldness, and it can get much worse than that. It's estimated to affect more than 6.5 million Americans, and it's caused when the immune system attacks the hair follicles. Now, Jo Mcallister is an amazing woman who's endured all the stages, and she's quick to let everyone know that her condition is an autoimmune skin disease not caused by stress. It's not life-threatening, but it is life-altering.
When I was younger, they didn't have children's hair pieces, so my parents had to adjust them and we had to kind of sew them together to make them fit my head.
Marjorie Mcallister, who prefers to be called Jo, began losing her hair very early in life. Did kids tease you?
Oh yes, they would pull them off, and you know how like when you're little, people pull off your, winter caps and then play monkey in the middle.
It certainly wasn't easy growing up with the various stages of alopecia.
It changed from alopecia areata, which was just spots of hair loss with, with my scalp.
Then it progressed, turning into
alopecia totalis, which was then total hair loss on my head. I still had my eyelashes, my eyebrows, but I had total hair loss on my head.
Now, Jo is coping with Alopecia Universalis. In layman's terms, there's not a stitch of hair on her body.
I would always like to sit in the back of the bus so nobody would sit behind me. I would always like to sit in the back of the class so nobody could sit behind me, because again, when you're wearing these synthetic pieces, you get the wefts and people could see, through them, or they could have the opportunity to pull them off.
What kinds of treatments have you had, and how successful were they?
Well, growing up, my parents, were really looking for answers, and they really wanted to help me in any way they could. So we had special tests that were performed, and it cost them a lot of money. We also, heard that if you eat a head of cabbage a day, that might help. Or if you hold your head over the bed and let the blood, rush to your head, that might help. So we did try everything.
Everything, sure.
Everything. But of course, nothing was really successful. Looking back,
Jo says she almost felt relieved as the disease progressed because she was no longer a prisoner to false hope.
You know what you're dealing with. You want to go into then a custom piece like the one that I'm wearing, and that looks more like this instead of the synthetic.
She's now on a mission to help other alopecia patients embrace their conditions and avoid any shame.
So this is my Alopecia Universalis. Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thanks. I have actually a beautiful scalp.
You do? Yeah, and Jo is proud to explain the benefits of her custom-made wigs.
These pieces go on by suction. They fit your head. These are ideal for anybody with any long-term, complete hair loss.
They're not itchy or sticky like the synthetic wigs.
So you get a clear cast then of your scalp, and when you get your clear cast back, you want to make sure that you've got a complete fit and suction of your head, and it looks like it's your own natural hair going onto your scalp. Every piece of this hair is put in by hand. These hair pieces, I'm going to throw on my short hair piece.
That's nice. So unlike your real hair, you can have 10 different looks.
I can have different styles. My husband loves it.
Now, these natural hair pieces afford Jo the freedom to live a normal life.
It's great because you can go swimming, you can go tubing, you can go on a roller coaster, I can go zip lining, I can do all sorts of activities.
Jo is someone I like to call a health hero, conquering adversity, taking control of her health, and setting a great example for her daughters. People are watching. What would you tell them about alopecia and other disabilities? What would be your message to them?
Be your most true self. Be who you are. Be strong. If people are teasing you, don't let that get you down.
I don't know if you would be as wonderful as a person as you are today without the alopecia. Would you agree?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, there are treatments, but there's no magic cure. Dermatologists may prescribe what's called corticosteroids to help with hair growth in the early stage, known as alopecia areata. They may also use minoxidil and anthrolin. Make sure you check with your doctor. We have some important resources for you at WXYZ.com, plus details on where Jo gets her special wigs.
Well, thank you very so many people will hide from this kind of thing. To see her step forward, it really gives strength to people who are dealing with this kind of thing.
But it doesn't matter what happens on the outside. If you're strong on the inside, then everything's okay, and she proved that. And she's a beautiful shaped head, by the way, too.
She looks great.
She's gorgeous without it.
All right, Hallie's standing by.